Well, good morning, everyone. Just wanted a chance to interview our new worship leader, Joe Harris, who we're excited to have with us, but want to give you guys a chance to get to know him too. So to start off, Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I'm from southeastern York County, PA. I have one sister, and we were raised by two loving parents who actually immigrated from the Caribbean. Fun fact about myself, I was actually born in Barbados, but my family moved here when I was about 6 months old. After that, I have a wonderful wife.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we like her a lot.
We love her a lot. And we've got one phenomenal dog. She's actually a trained therapy dog. So if
That's
you guys,
cool.
you guys have any tough time, we've got your back.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So where did you go to school? Where'd you go to college?
Yeah. So I went to Messiah College
Nice.
over just outside of Harrisburg, PA. That's actually where I ended up meeting my wife.
Nice.
It was a good time. Honestly, it's just a phenomenal community of people. And just so much of like who I am as a person and a musician has been transformed around just that time at Messiah. So yeah, a lot of who you see I am today is because of what I went through at school. It was such a beautiful time. Such a beautiful time.
Nice. So you met your wife at college.
I met my wife there. Yeah, we met at the end of our senior year.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
We met there, and then I proposed in May, so right before our graduation.
Did you get the blessing from your father-in-law?
I did. I absolutely did.
He's a big guy, so you got to make sure of that.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, they were really excited. They've been so loving and wonderful in that entire time, and
Nice.
Yeah, it's been such a blessing to join the family.
Awesome. So we know you love worship. Every time we see you up there, you're passionate. I guess just to give people a little preview, what gave you that passion for worship?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was actually raised in the church, but the church that I grew up in didn't have a live worship band. We actually had a worship leader. They would just lead us through the songs, but there wasn't that live band that we see typically.
Wow.
So when I got to Messiah, my whole world was just opened up. I got a chance to really see what it was like to play in a band like that, and
Wow.
I immediately just fell in love with it. I grabbed a guitar, started teaching myself how to play.
Wow.
Started singing as much as I could, and eventually, I realized that it was a special calling that God was placing on my life. So I decided to take that seriously. I found a church in the area. Met this wonderful worship leader who took me under his wing and just taught me so much of what I know today. It was such a blessing to be able to have him to kind of just throw me up before I even had all the skills. He was just like, sure, get out there, take it. And it was such a transformative time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So when he threw you out there, are you saying like he would let you play once in a while? He'd let you lead once in a while? What'd that look like?
Yeah, so it started out just playing a little bit just to kind of get a sense of what it's like to be in the band. But after a little bit, he ended up throwing me out there to lead a few songs. One of the most notable songs that I can remember is Our God. That was like one of the staples for that church. And I just remember having incredible memories of just singing that over and over.
Yeah.
And eventually we had an extra service at 4:30 that they actually ended up letting me take the lead, which was a huge blessing.
That's awesome.
They found a need that there was just some people that couldn't quite make it to their Sunday services during the morning. I guess because of work and stuff like that. And so, we had a good community of people that wanted to show up for a 4:30 service. And it was it was like an acoustic, laid back kind of a service, but it was such a blessing to be able to connect with people in that way. Yeah.
How old were you when that happened?
Oh man, I was probably about, I want to say 20, 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now I know a little bit more about your background and the journey God has taken you through.
Yeah.
So from 21, you're what age now?
27.
27.
Yeah.
Just give us a little snapshot. You have this burning passion inside of you, right? You want to lead. You're on fire to lead. What happens?
Yeah, well, a lot. So yeah, once I got married, my wife and I wanted to find a job in the area. We had decided we wanted to lay our roots down here in New Jersey, because this is where my wife is from. It's honestly a phenomenal area. We love so much about it. But in that process, I needed to find a job. So that was a tricky time period, just trying to figure out what I was going to do. But
right out of college.
Just learning how to be in the workforce for the first time, but unfortunately, I could not find a church where I could find a job in it, in worship ministry.
Yes.
That was a really tricky time. My wife and I were going from church to church. There was a lot of brokenness in that because I felt like we weren't settling. We didn't have like a place where we could truly call home. And so in that time period, we were newly married too.
Yes.
And so that added its own set of challenges.
Of course.
And so, I felt this, I felt God telling me honestly that I needed to focus more on finding a church home for our family, take care of our family first. And then God's going to take care of the rest.
That's right.
So I decided to do that. I decided to pause and really focus on finding that church home. So that's where, Katie and I actually ended up settling at the Life Christian Church, actually not too far away from here.
Yeah.
And there was
West Orange.
Right over there in West Orange. Yeah. And that was such a beautiful time because, while it meant that I had to put my dream to be a worship leader to the side for a little bit because they didn't have a job available. But it meant that we were really doing what God was calling us to do in the time and honestly trying to, again, find that community where we can feel that sense of home, that sense of like love and belonging, where we can, serve the community, but also, get a bit back from that as well. And
Amen. That's neat. We always have people we try to emulate to some extent. I have certain pastors I look at and I want to be encouraged by them. Maybe there's something that resonates to me personally from them. Are there certain worship leaders or just, people who lead in Christian music in general that you look up to, you want to emulate in some ways?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most notable names that comes to my mind right now is Corey Asbury. He's the guy that wrote Reckless Love, for those of you who don't know. Great musician. I really love his writing style. I think it's just so raw. And genuine.
Yes.
On top of that, I also really love Ren Collective. It's this beautiful band from, I believe, Ireland. When I was first learning to be a worship leader, I learned a lot about their music. Their music style just influenced me a ton as I was just learning to be a worship leader for the first time.
That's awesome.
And then, the last name I'd love to throw out there is Mark Barlow. Not super well known, but I definitely recommend him. His music is very different. It's outside of that standard Christian contemporary style that we typically listen to.
Yeah.
Very soulful and
That's cool, man. Very cool. What do you think was the, it could be more than one thing, but what drew you to the Crossing?
Oh, wow. Yeah. So Katie and I, when we first came to the Crossing, we were immediately touched by the community here. It's just been amazing. From the moment that we first walked in these doors, we felt a sense of just love and belonging. Everybody's just been so kind and welcoming in this whole transition. It really just feels like home, and it's beautiful to see how intentional this community is. That's been the word that's kind of been on my heart lately. Intentionality. I've really seen that so much across the board of people just really taking time out of their day to reach out to us and really, again, just intentionally get to know us to make sure that we feel welcomed and loved. And so, thank you all for opening your arms and your hearts to us. Katie and I are beyond grateful to be here serving with you all and to be a part of this Crossing family.
I have one more question.
Absolutely.
It's been a month? Has it been a month? It's
almost,
been a month.
Just about.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's gone fast.
So fast.
Yeah. So as you look further into the future here, what are you hoping as a worship leader here? What are you hoping to do here, to see God do through you, just do through the worship team?
Yeah, I'm really just hoping to get more people involved. I really, my heart behind all of this is to, not make this a show all about me. My goal is really to serve all of you. And so, if you have a heart for worship, if you have a heart for music in general, I encourage you to reach out. I'd love to get to know you more and to try to get you involved. My goal is for us to all grow together as a community. and to just create a culture of worship where it's just what we do. You know, it's
Absolutely.
it's way more than just music. It's how we choose to live our lives, and I think that's ultimately the kind of culture that I want to create with our team together.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I could say personally, and for our whole staff, we love Joe. He's been a great addition. Him and Katie have been such a special people to our lives here at The Crossing. So, so grateful to have you here, brother. And thank you for joining in. Have a good one.
Thank you.